You're an A-level gay, and you're good-looking, talented. Have any guy you want.
What if the best stories are the ones you haven't seen yet? From heart-melting romances to unforgettable coming-of-age journeys, here are the top 60 gay films you need to stream in 2025. Great Freedom. Hans is imprisoned over and over again, not for theft or violence, but simply for being gay in post-war Germany, where paragraph 175 outlaws homosexuality. Prison becomes his second home, a place where time blurs and the outside world forgets him. Unexpectedly, he forms a deep bond with Victor, a straight cellmate and hardened criminal. Over the years, their relationship shifts from resentment to trust and quiet tenderness. Victor becomes Hans's only constant in a world that never lets him breathe. But when Hans is finally offered real freedom, he stares at the open door and wonders if he even wants to leave. And then we danced.
გამარჯობა. ვინ ახარ? მე ირაკლი ვარ.
იცი სად მოხვედი?
ქართულ ნაციონალურ ანსამბლში.
მე მოიხსენე ეგ საყური.
Merab is a driven dancer in Georgia's national ensemble, where strength and tradition define masculinity. His world is rehearsed and controlled, until Irakli joins the troupe. The new dancer is confident, talented, and completely disarming. What starts as a rivalry builds into quiet obsession and then something undeniably real. They train, compete, and secretly fall into a rhythm no one else sees. Their growing connection threatens everything: careers, reputations, futures. But Merab can no longer conform, not when his heart refuses to. As the final performance nears, Merab spins into a moment of truth and chooses to dance for himself for the first time. Consequences.
Andrei!
After a violent outburst, Andre is sent to a Slovenian youth detention center, where toughness masks insecurity. He falls under the influence of Zeljko, the charismatic alpha of the group. Zeljko's confidence pulls Andre in, and admiration slowly mutates into dependence. Their flirtation is subtle, wrapped in tests of loyalty and control. Andre suppresses who he is to fit in, stealing, lying, hurting others. But the more he tries to belong, the more he loses himself. When Zeljko finally betrays him, Andre's entire identity fractures. He's not just confronting his feelings. He's realizing the person he trusted most was using him all along. 17.
Ahí donde tú quieras, Héctor, pero sin mí.
Entonces, como siempre.
Hector, a 17-year-old in a juvenile detention center, forms a deep bond with a therapy dog named Oveja. When he learns that Oveja has been adopted, Hector escapes the facility to find his canine friend. His older brother, Ismael, joins him on this journey, which also includes their ailing grandmother, Kuka. Together, they traverse the Spanish countryside in Ismael's camper van, encountering various adventures and rekindling familial bonds. As they search for Oveja, the trio confronts past grievances, personal growth, and the complexities of their relationships. Ultimately, Hector decides to leave Oveja with her new family, recognizing the dog's happiness. He returns to the detention center, having found a renewed sense of self and strengthened family ties. Mario.
Hey! Hey, shut off!
Although it's just as simple.
Mario is a star player on a professional Swiss football team, fiercely ambitious and laser-focused on making it to the top. When Leon, a new German forward, joins the team, Mario feels threatened, then intrigued, then consumed. What begins as a quiet friendship blossoms into something dangerous behind locker room doors. But the world of pro sports doesn't welcome secrets, and the club's scouts are watching. The pressure builds, rumors swirl, and Leon starts to crack under the weight of hiding. When faced with a choice between love and career, Mario chooses the path that promises success. But as he climbs higher, he realizes he may have won the game, but lost himself. Sodom. Will is a British tourist celebrating his final night of freedom before his wedding. After a blackout night in Berlin, he wakes up naked in a stranger's apartment, disoriented and deeply uncomfortable. The stranger, Michael, is kind but mysterious. What follows is a full day together wandering the city, exchanging jokes, stories, and sharp moments of intimacy. Will insists he's straight, but as the hours pass, his guard weakens. Michael doesn't push, but he doesn't pull away either. The day turns into something neither expected: honest, unfiltered, electric. By sunset, Will must face a question more terrifying than cold feet. What if the life he's returning to was never his to begin with? Poppy Field.
T'as pas besoin de te justifier. Non. Non, pardon, non, moi je justifie. Si, tu te justifies là.
Christy is a Romanian police officer, precise and efficient in every aspect of his job. He also happens to be gay, but no one can ever know. His double life begins to crack when he's assigned to break up a protest at a queer film screening, and his boyfriend is there. With cameras rolling, tensions boiling, and colleagues watching, Christy is forced to choose between hiding and reacting. The pressure is suffocating. One wrong gesture could expose him to the very men he commands. And as the night spirals out of control, Christy realizes the real threat isn't being outed. It's discovering how far he'll go to keep the mask in place. Boy meets boy.
You know, honestly, I scare myself sometimes. I go to work and I sleep with a random guy and it satisfies me for like 5, 10, 15 minutes and then I just feel...
Harry has just 15 hours left in Berlin before flying home to London. After a sleepless rave, he meets Jonas, thoughtful, charming, and completely disarming. What starts as a casual conversation becomes a day-long walk through the city. They talk about life, love, regrets, and dreams with the kind of honesty only strangers can share. Their connection is electric yet fleeting, growing stronger with every step. The city becomes their playground, time their enemy. With every hour, the goodbye becomes harder to imagine. As Harry boards his flight, he realizes it wasn't just a holiday fling. It was a glimpse of a life he didn't know he could want. Loose. Raphael is quiet, disciplined, and nearing the end of his prison sentence. He's done everything right to earn a fresh start, until Carlos is assigned as his new cellmate. Carlos is different, tender, mysterious, and guarded. Their bond forms slowly, through looks, silences, and shared pain. In a place that crushes softness, their connection is a risk. Raphael is drawn in, even as he tries to resist it. With freedom in sight, he should be focused on getting out. But when a sudden act of violence threatens everything, Raphael must choose between safety and the first person who ever saw him clearly behind bars. Mascarpone.
Guarda che se fai così mi inizi e poi mi abituo.
Antonio's world falls apart when his long-term boyfriend kicks him out. Suddenly homeless and emotionally wrecked, he's forced to start over in Rome with nothing but a suitcase and a broken heart. Renting a room from a quirky baker and taking a job in a pastry shop, Antonio begins to rebuild his life, one awkward, flower-covered day at a time. Along the way, he meets Luca, a carefree spirit who challenges Antonio to rethink everything he believed about love and independence. Through late-night chats and slow self-discovery, Antonio learns to stand on his own 2 feet. And when love knocks again, he finally answers, not because he needs it, but because he chooses it. By the way, if you're enjoying these pics and want to see more content like this, consider supporting our channel by becoming a member. You'll get exclusive early access to videos, a welcoming community of film enthusiasts, and a range of additional perks. The Lawyer. Marius is a successful, impeccably dressed corporate lawyer living in Vilnius, emotionally closed off and lonely. One night, he stumbles across a campsite and meets Ali, a young Syrian refugee in Belgrade. Their online exchanges begin with curiosity and desire, but quickly turn into something raw and vulnerable. Marius, used to control, finds himself opening up. He becomes obsessed, not just with Ali's body, but with his courage and resilience. Eventually, Marius travels to meet him in person, heart racing with hope and fear. But in the quiet of that meeting, he realizes this isn't a fantasy. It's real. And love, outside of screens, demands more than just longing. Beyto.
Du hast Angst vor der Schwucht?
Beyto is a talented swimmer and the pride of his Turkish immigrant family in Switzerland. His future looks bright, until his parents discover he's in love with his male coach. Panicked and ashamed, they lure him to Turkey under false pretenses and trap him into an arranged marriage with a childhood friend. Caught between two worlds, Beyto is forced to navigate loyalty, culture, and his own truth. His silence becomes a prison, and the wedding feels more like a funeral. But just as it seems like he's lost everything, a quiet rebellion stirs within him, and he realizes he doesn't have to choose between love and freedom. He can fight for both. Hidden kisses.
Moi aussi j'ai peur, tu sais.
At a party, Nathan shares a kiss with another boy. A single photo goes viral, and by morning, he's outed to his entire school. The bullying is instant and brutal. His father, confused and ashamed, pulls away. His classmates turn cold. Nathan's only ally is a teacher who's been hiding his own truth for decades. As Nathan sinks deeper into despair, another boy watches from the sidelines, silent, afraid, and hiding the same secret. When they finally find each other, it's not about the kiss anymore. It's about knowing they're not alone. And sometimes, the most powerful love stories begin with the courage to be seen. A moment in the reeds.
I'm happy that you are here.
Levy returns to Finland from Paris to help his estranged father renovate their lakeside cabin. There, he meets Tarek, a Syrian refugee hired as labor. In the stillness of the countryside, they begin to connect, first through shared work, then through late-night conversations and hesitant glances. Their backgrounds couldn't be more different, but their loneliness is the same. As their bond deepens, the cabin becomes a fragile sanctuary, removed from the judgments of the outside world. But summer is short, and visas don't last forever. As the season fades, so does the illusion. What began as a brief escape leaves a lasting echo neither of them expected to carry. Heartstone. In a remote Icelandic fishing village, Christian and Thor are inseparable. They tease, fight, fish, and push boundaries as boys do. But Christian feels something more. As Thor begins to flirt with a girl in their class, Christian struggles with a growing secret. Their friendship is tested by confusion, jealousy, and unspoken longing. Christian lashes out, masking fear with cruelty. Thor doesn't understand, and Christian can't explain. The winds of adolescence blow cold, and in the quiet of Iceland's long days, everything starts to unravel. And when the truth finally surfaces, it doesn't bring relief, it brings silence. Because some hearts break long before they ever get the chance to love out loud. Being 17.
Qu'un homme ressent en lui-même par l'absence d'une chose qui lui donnerait du plaisir si elle était présente, c'est ce qu'on nomme désir.
Damien and Thomas are high school students in rural France, complete opposites who can't stand each other. Their tension turns into physical fights, snide remarks, and constant friction. But when Damien's mother invites Thomas to live with them while his mother is hospitalized, the two are forced into uncomfortable proximity. Their resentment simmers, then shifts. Beneath the hostility is curiosity. and something neither of them knows how to name. As the seasons change, their relationship evolves. Awkwardly, painfully, beautifully, by the time they understand what's really between them, it's no longer about hate or rivalry. It's about accepting love where you least expect it and realizing you might have been fighting the wrong person all along. Summer of '85. Alexis capsizes his boat off the Normandy coast and is rescued by David, a confident, charming teen with a wild streak. What follows is a summer drenched in sun, music, and heady romance. David is magnetic, carefree in ways Alexis longs to be. They dance, laugh, and fall into each other's arms. But beneath David's charm lies a recklessness that Alexis can't control. As their bond intensifies, so do the cracks. One impulsive act leads to a tragedy that shatters everything. What started as Alexis's dream summer becomes the season that defines and haunts his life. Because sometimes the person who saves you can also break you. Boys.
I missed a lifetime's insanity.
Seeger is a quiet teenager training for an upcoming relay race with his track team. He's focused, disciplined, and keeps to himself until he grows close to Mark, a teammate who begins to challenge that quiet exterior. One summer evening, a kiss between them shifts everything. Seeger pulls away, convincing himself it was nothing. But the feeling doesn't fade. He dates a girl, tries to ignore the tension, and keeps Mark at arm's length. Yet every shared run, every look, chips away at the lie. In the end, Seeger must face the truth. No matter how fast he runs, he can't outrun who he is. Center of my world.
Und was habe ich gesagt?
Phil returns home from summer camp to find his mother distant, his twin sister hostile, and a new boy, Nicholas, roaming the school hallways with a smile that hides something darker. Phil falls hard. Their romance is intense and intoxicating, filled with secret notes, electric touches, and promises whispered late at night. But cracks start to show. Jealousy, betrayals, and old wounds resurfacing in both families. Phil begins to question what's real and what's projection. When everything unravels, he realizes love doesn't always save you. Sometimes, it forces you to grow up faster than you're ready for and leaves you standing alone, stronger but changed. Rialto.
You're beautiful.
Calm is a middle-aged dock worker in Dublin, recently bereaved and struggling to connect with his wife and children. Grief weighs heavily, but it's not just loss pulling him under. It's something deeper he's buried for decades. In a moment of confusion, he meets Jay, a 19-year-old sex worker. Their relationship begins with a paid encounter, but evolves into a ritual, then an obsession. Jay is brash, broken, and unpredictable, but he offers Colum something no one else does: honesty without judgment. As Colum's personal life collapses, he clings to Jay as a lifeline. But when reality hits, he's left with a painful truth. Sometimes what feels like salvation is just a mirror showing you what you've been hiding all along. Heartstopper.
Mercy is trusting someone enough to let go of some control.
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
It's a good thing we're in sex ed right now. I mean, maybe you'll get some good advice.
In the halls of Truham Grammar School, Charlie Spring never expects anything from life, especially not romance. When he's seated next to Nick Nelson, the charming rugby player with a disarming smile, a quiet friendship starts to bloom. What begins as innocent chats and stolen glances escalates into slow, confusing feelings that neither boy knows how to name. With each episode, they move closer to confronting their emotions, facing family tension, peer pressure, and internal doubts. The beauty of their story lies in the way it unfolds naturally, filled with sweet texts, accidental touches, and vulnerable conversations. And just when Nick realizes what he truly wants, he says it with his whole chest, in front of everyone. Call me by your name.
Call me by your name and I'll call you by mine.
During a sun-drenched summer in northern Italy, 17-year-old Elio spends his days reading, transcribing music, and biking through the countryside. Then Oliver, a confident American grad student, arrives to assist Elio's father. The two circle each other through lingering silences, fleeting touches, and slow-burning chemistry. Their romance develops through shared books, fruit picking, and conversations that say more in what's left unsaid. Their time together is fleeting, only 6 weeks, but the emotional weight it carries lasts a lifetime. The cinematography, dialogue, and pacing immerse you fully into Elio's youthful longing. And in one final fireplace scene, as Elio stares into the flames, the entire summer comes crashing down in silence. Love, Simon.
Hey! I like your boots! I said I like your boots! Goodbye!
Nobody knows I'm gay.
Simon Spear has a great life, a supportive family, loyal friends, and a charming school routine. But he's hiding one huge secret. He's gay. When an anonymous student, Blue, posts on a gossip site about being closeted, Simon starts an online correspondence that quickly grows into something intimate. While juggling his identity, friendships, and a looming school play, Simon is also determined to find out who Blue is. Every misstep pushes him closer to revealing himself, not just to others, but to himself. The email exchanges are witty and heartfelt, full of teen angst and innocent hope. When Simon finally boards the Ferris wheel, not knowing who'll show up, it's not just a reveal, it's a release. Young Royals.
Hur har du drömt att det ska vara? Jag kan visa dig.
Prince Wilhelm of Sweden is sent to Hillerska, an elite boarding school, after a scandal threatens his public image. There, he meets Simon, a scholarship student with no patience for royal nonsense. Their relationship starts with tension and curiosity, but quickly turns tender, then complicated. As they try to hide their growing affection, the pressures of royalty, media, and public expectation threaten to tear them apart. The series captures every stolen moment, text message, and anxious glance. With rich character development and a gripping emotional arc, it builds to an intense, heartbreaking finale. And when Wilhelm finally looks Simon in the eye and says his name, he means everything he never got to say. Big boys.
With some nice girls, so that one day you'll fall in love.
Jamie is a plus-sized, gay 14-year-old grieving the recent loss of his father. On a camping trip with his macho older brother, he meets Dan, a sweet, charismatic 20-something who's also part of the trip. Jamie's awkwardness turns into infatuation as he navigates emotions he's never felt before. Dan treats Jamie kindly, unaware of the deeper feelings building beneath the surface. The film handles this one-sided crush with sensitivity, humor, and painful accuracy. Jamie's internal monologue, mixed with dream sequences and bold imagination, creates a painfully relatable portrait of adolescence. But when Dan hugs him goodbye, Jamie knows. It's the end of a fantasy, and the start of something real inside him. Young Hearts.
Heb jij al eens verliefd geweest? Ja. Maar dat is het leukste gevoel ooit, hè?
Caleb and Emmett are high school juniors whose friendship unexpectedly deepens over a school project. What begins with awkward silences and shared Spotify playlists gradually morphs into long late-night conversations and knowing glances. The film captures their tentative emotional steps, whether they're trading stories in the school library or nervously brushing hands at the vending machine. But the tension really builds during a weekend trip, where one moment of honesty shifts everything between them. Their journey isn't dramatic, it's ordinary, intimate, and real. And in one small, quiet moment, Caleb leans in, not with confidence, but with hope. And Emmett doesn't pull away. Alex Strangelove.
There's this guy who I'm pretty sure has a crush on me, and I guess I'm not repulsed by the idea.
Look, it's a confusing time, man.
Oh.
Everywhere you look, someone's omnisexual or transitioning.
How did you know you were gay? How do you know you're straight?
Alex True Love has it all. a devoted girlfriend, a solid group of friends, and a perfect plan to lose his virginity. But when he meets the effortlessly cool and openly gay Elliot, things start to unravel. The more time they spend together, the more Alex begins to question his own feelings and identity. Caught between comfort and curiosity, he spirals through confusion, denial, and self-sabotage. The movie mixes teen comedy with genuine emotional depth, building to a series of vulnerable moments. And in one bold act, after pushing Elliot away, Alex finally shows up at his door, not with words, but with clarity in his eyes. Acron. Benny and Christopher meet during a college football game and fall into a sweet, easy romance. Their relationship unfolds naturally. Dates at diners, study sessions, and long walks that feel like forever. But a tragic connection from their past, one that neither of them knew, threatens to destroy the trust they've built. As families become involved and secrets surface, the couple is forced to decide if love is enough to bridge such deep emotional scars. The film's strength lies in its sincerity and refusal to dramatize unnecessarily. In the final scene, standing near a cemetery, they make a decision that shows love isn't just about passion, it's about grace. North Sea, Texas.
Vind je me mooi?
Ja.
Zoen we dan?
Pim is a shy, artistic boy living with his emotionally distant mother in a coastal Belgian town. His only escape is his daydreams, and his best friend and neighbor Gino. As they grow up, Pim's affection for Gino deepens, even though Gino seems preoccupied with girls and motorcycles. Their childhood friendship turns confusing when a moment of physical closeness leaves Pim hopeful and Gino distant. The atmosphere is filled with quiet yearning, and every glance between them speaks louder than dialogue. And when Gino leaves town without a word, Pim is left with an empty bed and a heart that's finally learned how to break. Dream Boy.
Jesus was deeply troubled, and he testified.
Set in the rural American South, Dream Boy follows Nathan, a quiet, bookish teen who transfers to a new school and quickly draws the attention of Roy, a confident classmate. Their relationship simmers beneath the surface, hidden behind school buses, late-night rides, and whispered conversations. But Nathan carries trauma that threatens to destroy any chance at peace. As their romance deepens, so does the danger surrounding it. The story shifts from a tender love story into a chilling, ghostly twist you don't see coming. And in the woods, when Roy turns around expecting to see Nathan, he realizes love can haunt just as deeply as it heals. Click the join button below to become part of our growing film-loving community. You'll get exclusive early video releases, connect with fellow film enthusiasts, and discover more hidden gems in LGBTQ+ cinema. Your support truly matters and helps us make more content like this. Get real.
Cover me in honey and suck it up with a straw.
John Dixon, he is sex on legs.
Steven is a witty, closeted teen at an English all-boys school, spending his days dodging bullies and hiding his truth. Everything changes when he secretly begins a romance with John Dixon, the school's star athlete. Their secret meetings and hallway glances build tension until the pressure of hiding becomes too much. Steven wants to be open. John can't risk it. Their fragile connection unravels in a way that feels deeply human and heartbreakingly inevitable. And in the final school assembly, Steven takes the stage and says what John never could: hidden kisses.
Moi aussi j'ai peur, tu sais.
"16-year-old Nathan shares a secret kiss with another boy at a party, and someone snaps a photo. The image spreads fast, and Nathan's world collapses into chaos. His dad, his friends, even his school seem unsure how to react. Amid bullying and confusion, he finds an unexpected ally in another closeted student. Their connection is shaky, unsure, but sincere. The movie doesn't rush anything. It lets every stare and silence tell the story. And in the end, It's not the kiss that matters. It's who's still standing beside him after everything fades. I am Jonas.
J'ai l'impression qu'on va se voir souvent. Nos fils s'aiment vraiment beaucoup.
Ah, c'est bien que vous le preniez comme ça.
Comment ça?
Bah non, rien, je disais ça.
Jumping between timelines, the film introduces us to adult Jonas. Moody, distant, and carrying something heavy. The past unravels slowly, taking us back to his teenage years when he met Nathan, a charming new student who instantly captivated him. Their relationship bloomed fast, full of adrenaline and danger. But something went terribly wrong. The pacing is taut, the editing sharp, and the emotional payoff lands hard. In a final reveal, the truth surfaces, and Jonas is left standing in the place where it all began, older but not healed, being 17th.
Qu'un homme ressent en lui-même par l'absence d'une chose qui lui donnerait du plaisir si elle était présente, c'est ce qu'on...
Damien and Thomas are polar opposites. One's the son of a doctor, the other an adopted farm boy. They can't stand each other until repeated confrontations force them into each other's orbit. As their rivalry turns into curiosity and unexpected tenderness, the backdrop of snow-covered mountains mirrors their emotional thaw. Their dynamic is messy, raw, and deeply physical. And in the final scene, what began with a punch ends with an embrace neither of them can explain, but neither of them wants to let go of. The curiosity of chance.
I think we're neighbors.
Chance Marquis is bold, flamboyant, and determined to survive high school on his own terms. When he transfers to a new school, he clashes with jocks, befriends outcasts, and dazzles at a local drag show. But beneath the glamour is a lonely boy who wants to be understood. Then he meets Levi, the charming new kid who actually sees him. Their chemistry is subtle but undeniable. And when Levi shows up in a tux to take Chance to prom, it's not about making a statement. It's about making it real. Invisible Boys.
I've never had a boyfriend. I guess I thought that when I did get one, he might want to be seen in public with me.
Based on Holden Shepard's acclaimed novel, this film follows three closeted teens navigating life in a rough, rural Australian town. Charlie hides behind sarcasm, Hammer masks himself with aggression, and Zeke dreams of escape. Their lives seem separate until a shocking incident ties them together. Each character's pain feels raw and unfiltered, but there's beauty in how they reach for each other, even when the world pushes them down. In the final moments, one brave confession unites them in defiance, and for the first time, they're no longer invisible. Bonus track.
This is, my friend.
Hi.
Hi.
You with George?
Teenage musician George spends his days writing songs no one hears, until Max, a new boy with chaotic energy, transfers to his school. Their connection forms over shared headphones, school talent shows, and late-night lyric writing. Max pushes George to perform, to feel, and to stop hiding, especially from himself. Their relationship is intimate and unspoken, communicated through glances and harmonies. When they finally perform on stage together, the lyrics reveal everything they've been too scared to say aloud. A nice Indian boy.
Hey! The photographer is hot. I've got an extra ticket to a film screening if you want to join me.
I'll check my calendar, but yes, I think I'll be, which.
Naveen is the perfect son, until he meets Jay, an actor playing a Hindu in a stage play. They clash, laugh, flirt, and finally fall for each other, navigating awkward meet-the-parents dinners and cultural missteps. Jay's charm hides deep insecurity, while Naveen struggles to reconcile love and tradition. The film blends humor and emotion beautifully, showing that identity isn't always tidy. And just when things seem too complicated to work, one unexpected gesture turns chaos into something tender and unforgettable. Advanced chemistry.
You're a nice boy who wants a wife. You need to talk to a female. I talk to females all the time.
In a high school chemistry lab, Luca and Matteo begin as reluctant lab partners. Matteo is all brains and nerves. Luca is popular but struggling inside. Their project forces them to spend hours together, and soon quiet study sessions shift into something electric. Their bond deepens through shared secrets and near kisses between homework problems. It's subtle, but every look simmers with tension. And during the school's science fair, when they present side by side, it's not the experiment that gets applause. It's the moment they finally hold hands in front of everyone. Sauna.
Vill man ha någonting här i livet så måste man själv gå ut och ta det.
Set in a remote Finnish town, two teenage boys meet each week in the local sauna, bare, quiet, and full of steam. It starts as routine, but over time, their conversations become deeper, their stares longer. The sauna becomes their escape from families, expectations, and frozen silence outside. The cinematography is moody, the pacing slow, but every moment feels intentional. And in the last scene, when they walk out into the snow, side by side, they're no longer afraid of the cold or each other. Love, Simon.
Hey! I like your boots! I said I like your boots! Goodbye!
Nobody knows I'm gay.
Simon is your average teen, except he's hiding a big secret. When his anonymous email romance starts getting serious, things spiral fast. A blackmailer threatens to out him, his friendships fall apart, and his family's left wondering. But in the middle of the drama, Simon takes a stand. He finally comes out, finds unexpected support, and shows up for his mystery guy at the school carnival. When he sees Blue on the Ferris wheel, it's not just romantic, it's brave. Their kiss in front of everyone isn't just sweet, it's a revolution on a Ferris wheel. The birdcage.
That sarcastic, contemptuous tone that means you know everything because you're a man and I know nothing because I'm a woman.
You're not a woman.
Oh, you bastard.
Armand runs a flamboyant Miami drag club. His partner Albert is its star. Their lives flip upside down when Armand's son wants to marry the daughter of a conservative senator. Chaos ensues as they attempt to pass off as a normal family. Cue a hysterical dinner party with wigs, lies, and one wild transformation. But through the madness, love wins. Families adjust, pretenses fall, and Albert walks out with Armand in full drag glory. And somehow, that absurd wedding, it ends with everyone smiling in a rainbow haze of acceptance. Fire Island.
Here.
Finally, my girls have arrived!
And that is our makeshift little family.
Noah and his queer crew set off for their annual Fire Island getaway. A week of sun, shade, and endless flirtation. But this time feels different. Money's tight, romance gets messy, and personal insecurities bubble up. As Noah catches feelings for a reserved doctor, old friendship tensions surface. Yet in classic rom-com style, everything builds to a Pride and Prejudice-inspired confession. Add some rain, drama, and a kiss that stops time. The group finds love, closure, and themselves, right where the party never stops. Alex Strangelove.
There's this guy who I'm pretty sure has a crush on me, and I guess I'm not repulsed by the idea.
Look, it's a confusing time, man.
Oh.
Everywhere you look, someone's omnisexual or transitioning.
How did you know you were gay? How do you know you're...
Alex thinks he's got it all planned out. A girlfriend, college, and a completely straight life. But then he meets Elliot, an openly gay teen who throws his world off balance. Alex spirals into confusion, awkward attempts at intimacy, and one disastrous party. But in the mess, clarity comes. He embraces his truth, makes peace with his ex, and runs through the city to finally kiss Elliot. It's clumsy, it's heartfelt, and it ends with two boys dancing at prom, finally themselves. Big Eden.
Pike, it's plain he's taken.
I appreciate your concern. We want things to be nice for you too, buddy.
Henry returns to his rural Montana hometown to care for his grandfather, expecting awkward reunions and old wounds. What he doesn't expect? Pike, quiet, shy, and deeply in love with him. While Henry pines for his old flame, Pike silently supports him with home-cooked meals and quiet kindness. But the town surprises them both, embracing Henry and cheering for Pike. In the most unexpected twist, the loner gets the guy. And Big Eden turns out to be the most accepting small town in America. Latter days.
Gross!
Nothing happened here, guys.
Walked in here, you're saying...
Christian is a party boy. Aaron is a closeted Mormon missionary. When their paths collide in sunny LA, sparks fly, and then crash. After being outed, Aaron is sent home and suffers a breakdown. But Christian refuses to let him disappear. He grows up, finds purpose, and travels across states to find Aaron. What could have been a tragic ending becomes a redemption arc with a kiss in the snow. A love that survived religion, shame, and distance wins in the end. Beautiful thing.
I think I'll have 2 of you and 10 of your mate. Hello.
In a gritty South London housing estate, Jamie and Steve are neighbors hiding more than teenage troubles. As their friendship deepens, so does their need to escape abusive homes and societal pressure. With the help of Jamie's fierce mother and some Mama Cass records, they find moments of tenderness and courage. It ends not with a secret, but a dance in the open, in front of everyone. 2 boys, a cassette player, and no more hiding. 4th man out.
You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
What the hell's going on?
I'm hurt, man. Adam's gay.
Adam, a car mechanic, decides to come out to his group of straight beer-chugging bros. The result? Not the disaster he fears, but a hilarious, awkward, and heartwarming adjustment period. The guys struggle with dating advice, accidental grinder discoveries, and a bar brawl or two. But through it all, they show up for him. When Adam finds real love, it's not just romantic, it's a testament to unlikely allies. Turns out, you don't need to change your friends. Sometimes, they just need a minute. Handsome devil.
That's the guy who changed everything.
Reveal to me.
At a rugby-obsessed Irish boarding school, loner Ned and new star player Connor form a surprising bond over music and quiet rebellion. As suspicions rise and secrets leak, they must decide between conformity or honesty. With help from a rogue English teacher, they take the stage at the talent show and blow the room away. Connor stands up for Ned, and the school learns there's more to manhood than sports. And that final performance? It's a mic drop of truth. Being 17.
Qu'un homme ressent en lui-même par l'absence d'une chose qui lui donnerait du plaisir si elle était présente.
Damien and Thomas are rivals, always clashing at school and at home when life forces them under the same roof. But buried beneath the tension is unspoken longing. Over time, as seasons change, so do they. Their hostility softens, glances linger, and grudges dissolve into affection. When they finally open up, it's not fireworks, it's peace. A quiet, real connection forms. And by the end, they're walking through snow, hand in hand. No longer boys fighting, but partners growing. If you're enjoying these pics, don't forget to hit the join button. You'll get exclusive early access to our videos, connect with fellow film lovers, and help us bring more hidden gems to light. Your support truly means the world. God's own country.
It's beautiful here, but lonely, you know?
Johnny, a Yorkshire farmer numbing his life with booze and one-night stands, meets Gheorghe, a Romanian worker hired for lambing season. At first, it's all harsh weather and silent stares. But Gheorghe's gentleness chips away at Johnny's walls. When Gheorghe leaves, Johnny realizes what he's lost. He cleans the house, the farm, and himself. When he drives to bring Gheorghe back, it's not a plea, it's a promise. And Gheorghe? He chooses to stay. Red, white, and royal blue.
Good morning.
We are in a hotel crawling with reporters. If anyone sees you leave this hotel, I will Brexit your head from your body.
What happens when the son of the American president falls for the Prince of England? A political disaster, or the most charming love story ever? Alex and Henry's romance begins in secret, full of stolen moments and hidden texts. But when it leaks, instead of shame, they fight. For love, for visibility, for each other. And in the end, they don't just get the happy ending, they rewrite what tradition means. A Cupid.
That bad?
I'm turning 30 tomorrow and all seems decided.
Isn't 30 a little young to be having a midlife crisis?
I'm gay.
30s.
Marshall's life is predictable until a mysterious dating app offers him excitement and endless flings. But things spiral fast, and he loses his grip on what matters. With reality glitching and his heart aching, Marshall realizes he's traded love for illusion. The app crashes, but his relationship doesn't. In a twist of fate and rebooted priorities, he finds his way back to the one who truly cared. And this time, he chooses right. Plan B.
Dale, para la chica. Dale, ya está. No te bien. Ahí está.
Bruno wants to get back at his ex by seducing the new boyfriend, Pablo. But feelings blur as his plan spirals into genuine affection. As Bruno fumbles with emotions he didn't plan on, Pablo begins questioning everything. What started as manipulation ends with a soft confession and a silent agreement to stay. In the end, Plan B turns out to be Plan A all along. Just friends. Joris, dealing with his father's death, meets Yad, a Syrian-Dutch medical student turned personal trainer. Their chemistry is instant, but family drama and cultural tension loom. Through grief, misunderstandings, and a very revealing spa scene, they find strength in each other. The final twist? Yad moves in with Joris's family, turning tragedy into something beautifully whole, the perfect wedding.
Gavin seems nice.
Yeah.
Paul heads home for his sister's Christmas wedding pretending to be straight, but when he meets the charming caterer Gavin, sparks fly. The twist? Gavin's working undercover to expose a thief, and Paul might be the fall guy. As secrets unfold, so does genuine love. When the truth comes out, so does Paul. And this wedding ends with more than one happy couple. Were the world mine?
Nice pipes. Heard your audition.
I think he wants you.
I think he wants to kick my ass. Good call.
Timothy, a musical theater-loving teen, discovers a magical flower that can make people fall in love with the same sex, just like in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Chaos erupts when he uses it on his town, but it opens minds and hearts. In the end, Timothy doesn't need magic. He gets the boy, earns the lead role, and the world becomes just a bit more like his imagination. Queer, bold, and bright. Summer Storm. Toby, a competitive rower, struggles with his feelings for his best friend as they attend a summer camp with an openly gay team. Jealousy, confusion, and denial mount, pushing Toby to confront himself. But acceptance comes, gradually, painfully, beautifully. By the end, he's not with his crush. He's better, free, open, and smiling in the rain. Center of my world. Phil returns from summer break to find his twin sister distant and his mother a mess. Amid the chaos, he falls hard for Nicholas, a mysterious classmate. Their love is electric, until secrets threaten to tear them apart. But Phil refuses to be shattered. The story closes not with Nicholas, but with Phil stronger, wiser, and still believing in love. Sometimes the happy ending is choosing yourself. Pride.
I was told about lesbians can't be true, can they? You're all vegetarians.
In the 1980s, Britain, LGBTQ+ activists support striking Welsh miners. At first, the locals push back, but shared struggles create powerful bonds. Pride isn't just about parades, it's about standing together. By the end, the march includes union workers and queer activists walking side by side. And that final scene? A bus full of miners at London Pride, proving solidarity wins. How many of these gems have you already watched? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorites in the comments. We'd love to hear what moved you most.